A stroke within minutes of touching a box, 26 deaths from one tomb, and a car that kept killing long after its driver died, these cursed objects aren't finished claiming victims. The Hope Diamond. What if I told you there's a diamond so cursed, even its mailmen died in freak accidents? One drowned, another got crushed by a truck, and a third's legs mysteriously stopped working. Yikes. Welcome to the blood-soaked story of the Hope Diamond. Legend says some genius pried it from a Hindu idol's eye socket. The priest's warning was simple: steal it and your curse forever, along with everyone who touches it after you. Need proof? Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, the first documented owner, got eaten alive by wild dogs. King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette lost their heads to the guillotine. Henry Philip Hope watched his entire family fortune vanish overnight. But the diamond wasn't done. No, it bounced through Europe, leaving a trail of suicides, murders, and bankruptcy. Meet Evelyn Walsh McLean, who laughed at curses and wore it as a good luck charm in 1912. The diamond responded by orchestrating a symphony of destruction. Her son died in a car crash, her daughter overdosed, her husband ran off and went insane, and their newspaper empire crumbled to dust. The curse didn't discriminate. Every carrier tasked with delivering this 45-carat nightmare met a gruesome fate. This gem turned the Postal Service into a Final Destination movie. Today, it sits in the Smithsonian Institution, drawing millions to its deadly beauty. The curse seems quieter now in public ownership, perhaps because no single person claims ownership anymore. But even behind glass, it remains one of the most infamous curse objects in history. James Dean's Porsche 550 Spyder. Little bastard. Ever heard of a car that keeps on killing long after its driver bit the dust? In 1955, James Dean's silver Porsche 550 Spyder didn't just take his life, it was just getting started. After Dean's fatal crash, custom car builder George Barris bought the wreckage, probably thinking he'd scored a sweet piece of Hollywood history. Boy, was he wrong. This twisted pile of German engineering apparently had a taste for blood. While unloading it, the car slipped and snapped a mechanic's leg like a toothpick. Ouch. But that was just the appetizer. Two doctors who thought it'd be cool to own pieces of Dean's death machine learned the hard way. Dr. Troy McHenry took the engine and ended up wrapped around a tree, while Dr. William Eschright's car did its best breakdancing impression with the drivetrain, though he somehow survived. Even the California Highway Patrol wasn't safe. They tried using the wreck for road safety demonstrations. Ironic much, but the car kept mysteriously falling and injuring people. The final cherry on top? In 1960, while being transported from Miami to Los Angeles, the entire wreck just vanished. Poof, gone. Even worse, after causing all this chaos, the little bastard, yes, that was his actual name, is still out there somewhere. Maybe in some collector's garage waiting for its next victim. Or maybe it's achieved its final form as a demonic transformer. The Anguished Man. In 2011, Sean Robinson inherited a painting from his grandmother, a disturbing figure with a face twisted in agony, painted by an unknown artist in the 1960s. Like many infamous artworks, this one came with a dark story. The artist supposedly mixed his own blood into the oil paint before taking his life. Sean's grandmother had kept it locked in her basement for 25 years, claiming it brought supernatural activity to her home. When Sean hung it in his house, things got strange. The Robinson family reported hearing unexplained screams and moans at night. The painting would reportedly fall off the wall without explanation, and strange shadows began appearing around it. Sean started documenting these occurrences on video, capturing what he claimed were paranormal events. He uploaded the footage to YouTube, where it quickly went viral. Some viewers suggested the painting's disturbing aura could be felt even through the screen, while skeptics argued it was just another internet horror story. Today, the Anguished Man remains one of the most controversial pieces of alleged haunted artwork, with Sean's videos continuing to spark debate about whether this blood-mixed masterpiece truly carries a curse, or if it's just another case of social media mythology. Robert the Doll. Ever see those haunted objects in museums with signs warning you not to mock them? In 1904, a servant at the Otto family mansion in Key West handed young Jean Otto a 3-foot doll in a sailor suit. The servant practiced voodoo, and word is she had a bone to pick with the family. Jean named the doll Robert, and that's when things got weird. The neighbors swore they saw Robert switching windows when no one was home. Jean's parents caught their son having full conversations with Robert at night, except the doll talked back in a completely different voice. Ugh. Objects around the house kept breaking, and every time Jean would point at Robert, saying, "He did it." Jean grew up but kept that creepy melon-sized doll around, even after getting married. His wife Anne wasn't a fan, especially when Robert started showing up in different spots around their bedroom. She managed to get the doll locked in the attic, but people still heard giggling and tiny footsteps up there. What's truly disturbing? If anyone trash-talked Jean while Robert was around, the doll's face would twist into something nasty. After Jean kicked the bucket in '74, a little girl found Robert in the attic. She woke up screaming night after number 1, claiming Robert was crawling around her room trying to attack her. The doll got dumped at the 40s Martello Museum, where he sits in a glass case today. Take a photo of Robert without asking permission, and your camera might malfunction. Mock him, and you're in for a bad time. The museum's got stacks of letters from people begging Robert for forgiveness after their lives went to hell. Brutal. Remember, like and subscribe to protect yourself from ancient curses. Just saying. The Dybbuk Box. Imagine owning a box so cursed that everyone who touches it ends up in the hospital. In 2001, a seemingly innocent wine cabinet appeared on eBay with a chilling warning. This item is haunted by a Dybbuk, a malevolent Jewish demon. Buy at your own risk. What happened next defies explanation. Every owner experienced identical horrors. Violent nightmares of a hideous hag, unexplained bruises appearing overnight, and a bizarre combination of jasmine and cat urine scents materializing from nowhere. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. Kevin Mannis gave the box to his mother as a gift. Within 10 minutes, she suffered a massive stroke and fell into a coma. When others tried disposing of the box, it mysteriously returned to their possession. Jason Haxton, a medical museum director, was the next victim. After acquiring the box, he began coughing up blood and developed unexplained welts across his body. Medical experts were baffled. The most terrifying part? The box now resides in Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum, sealed inside a gold line ark. But visitors keep passing out near the display. Multiple witnesses report feeling violently ill just by standing close to it. Which raises one blood-chilling question. What if the demon has already escaped its wooden prison? And more importantly, how many more victims will it claim before someone finds a way to stop it? Spooky. The Basano Vase. 1988. A silver vase gets dug up in Italy with an ominous note inside. Beware, this vase brings death. Pretty standard cursed object stuff, right? Wrong. This bad boy traced back to 15th century Napoli, where it kicked off its kill streak with a wedding. The bride dropped dead clutching it, and with her final breath, cursed anyone who dare own her murderous centerpiece. But hey, at least she had good taste. Silver goes with everything, including death. Fast forward through centuries of mysterious family deaths, and our 1988 guy decides ancient death threat sounds like auction material. He sells it to a pharmacist who kicks the bucket 3 months later. Next up, a surgeon snags it. 2 months, dead at 37. An archaeologist thought professional curiosity trumps curse. 3 months, mysterious infection, dead. See the pattern? This vase had a faster turnover rate than your local McDonald's. The last owner's family got creative. Yeet the cursed vase out the window, almost hit a cop who writes them a ticket but wisely refuses to touch the murder pottery. Even museums said, thanks, but no thanks. Finally, someone had the bright idea to seal this silver menace in a lead box and bury it on consecrated ground. Because nothing says problem solved like upgrading your cursed vase to a cursed time capsule. Busby's Chair of Death. In 1702, a murderer made a bone-chilling declaration from his favorite pub chair. Anyone who dared sit in it would face a brutal death. Hours later, Thomas Busby was hanged and tar-dipped for strangling his father-in-law to death in that very pub. All because that man sat in his cherished oak throne. But Busby's execution was just the beginning. A cocky chimney sweep became the chair's first victim, collapsing to his death that same evening after mockingly taking a seat. During World War II, the body count exploded when the pub became an RAF pilot's hangout. The pattern was chilling. Those pilots who sat in Busby's chair never returned from their mission. The death toll kept climbing. 2 builders took their lunch break in the wrong seat. Both died in a car crash that afternoon. Yikes. A roofer needed rest and chose the cursed chair. Hours later, he plunged headfirst through a roof. Even the cleaning lady who sat down while mopping met her end before sunset. The deaths became so frequent that in 1972, the Thirsk Museum took drastic action. They didn't just lock it away, they suspended it 5 feet off the ground, permanently out of reach. There it hangs today, a testament to its lethal legacy. While skeptics dismiss these deaths as coincidence or urban legend, the sheer number of victims linked to this seemingly ordinary piece of furniture raises disturbing questions. No official death count exists, but one thing's certain, Busby's final curse transformed a simple oak chair into what many consider history's deadliest piece of furniture. So here's the real question. How many coincidences would it take before you'd call it cursed? The Koh-i-Noor Diamond. Every man who owned this diamond met a violent death. There's a reason Queen Elizabeth kept it locked in her crown jewels, and it wasn't just the billions it's worth. At the center of Britain's imperial state crown sits the Koh-i-Noor, a 105.6 carat stone with a body count higher than most serial killers. This mountain of light first surfaced in India's Golconda mines back in 1306, and let's just say ownership disputes got a little messy. The Sultan of Delhi, Alauddin Khalji, snagged it first, then got murdered by his own slave. Nadir Shah of Persia thought he'd have better luck in 1739. Spoiler alert, he got assassinated. Even Shah Shuja Durrani, who probably should have read the room better, ended up overthrown and exiled. But here's the kicker. According to an ancient Hindu text, only God or a woman can wear the sparkly death sentence without catching hands from the afterlife. The British Crown must have done their homework because since Queen Victoria got her hands on it in 1849, they've made damn sure no king gets anywhere near it. Is it just coincidence that every male owner met a brutal end? Maybe, but you've got to wonder why even to this day, this cursed rock strictly stays in the ladies section of the royal jewelry box. Then again, if you had a diamond that turned every male owner into a cautionary tale, you'd probably stick to the instruction manual too. Death by diamond. Now that's what you call a fashion statement. Tutankhamun's tomb. Ancient curses are just superstition, right? Well, tell that to the 26 people who died after opening Tutankhamun's tomb. In 1922, archaeologist Howard Carter unearthed the most pristine pharaoh's tomb ever discovered. But this golden treasure came with a deadly price tag. Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's financier, was the first victim. A simple mosquito bite turned lethal within months of the tomb's opening. At the exact moment of his death, Cairo plunged into darkness as every light mysteriously failed. Even more chilling, its dog back in England dropped dead at the precise same instant. Jeez. The body count kept rising. The radiologist examining Tut's mummy died from inexplicable radiation like burns. Carter's secretary was found dead in bed, wearing an eerie smile, as if the pharaoh's revenge came with a punchline. Like this video or the mummy's gonna text you at 3 a.m. Just saying. You see, newspapers claim hieroglyphics warned, the death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the peace of the king. One problem. This inscription never existed. But the deaths were undeniably real. Scientists blame toxic ancient mold preserved in the sealed tomb. But how does that explain the supernatural phenomena? The simultaneous blackout and dog death? Or why Howard Carter, who actually breached the tomb, survived for 17 more years before the curse finally claimed him? 3,000 years later, Tutankhamun's curse remains archaeology's greatest mystery. Was it ancient Egyptian magic, deadly microorganisms, or something even darker? One thing's certain, some treasures are better left buried. Think you've seen it all? Not yet. The next story goes way beyond. We're talking jaw-dropping, nightmare-fueling stuff you don't want to miss. This is a journey into the truly unthinkable. and you'll be glad you joined me. I'll see you there!